Our region's central location is key to our growth and development over the years. This would not have been possible without a first-class transportation system. As the region continues to grow, our strategies for maintaining and enhancing this transportation system is more important than ever before. From automobiles and planes to conversations about mass transit and walkability, this next segment highlights the region's transportation strategies, challenges, and what's next for 2015.
Transportation really is critical to economic development. It's critical for growth. It's critical for job creation. People, we have a mobile society, and whether it's air or cars or bus or rail or transit, you've got to be able to get around.
Well, I think the entire world and our entire nation is moving away from the automobile. And that our funding mechanisms at the federal level will begin funding alternative forms of transportation. First, walking and pedestrian. So building development in a way that you can get around and walk around. Second, bikeways and bike paths all over our city.
It is about buses. It is about investing in highways. It is about investing in a light rail system. But it's more than that. It's about building a multimodal transportation system for the 21st century that's second to none, that allows us to compete on the global marketplace. And that really is a challenge for us. It's about that vision. So what I'd like to see in 2015 is that vision.
Because there's lots of ways we can look at this. From personal transportation is sort of one angle, public transportation, and then you mentioned airports. And I've been sort of tracking and I've been interested in all of these. One of the key unknowns we face right now, especially with personal transportation, is will there be something that's going to replace the internal combustion engine? And of course, there's lots of experiments. There's hybrids, there's electric cars. Right now, they're out of the price range, I think, of most people. And as long as gasoline is under $3 a gallon, I don't think that there's going to be that sort of push for innovation to replace gas-powered automobiles. That said, as we watch the price of gasoline increase to go from $3 to $5 to $10, which it's going to do over the next, certainly over the next decade or so, that's going to be the real push for innovation.
We have to ultimately get away from the vehicle with one passenger in it, the driver, because oil is a finite resource. It is going to be depleted eventually. The price is going to continue to rise. And if we don't make investments today for the future, we're not going to be prepared for the day when oil is too scarce to use in the automobile.
I think this will also be an impetus for more public transportation, just something that Columbus has not really developed. Outside of COTA, there's a subway system. I think we're one of the largest cities in the country without that sort of urban transportation network.
COTA is predominantly a bus company, and we have been a bus company. We will be a bus company for the foreseeable future. But it's important that as a community, we coalesce around a vision for a broader, more diverse public transit system going forward. As we sit here today, we're on the first electric hybrid bus that will be put in service in Central Ohio. That's really a stepping stone to further forms of mass transit.
If you're going to have a 21st century region, city and region, you have to have a 21st century transportation system.
Overall, with kind of our focus on urban development, I would probably say the most talked about issue is transportation or lack thereof. Columbus is, over the past couple decades, it's become a very car-centric city. So, usually once a year, the streetcar will surface, light rail will surface. Right now we're talking about the 3C corridor that will connect Cleveland to Columbus to Dayton to Cincinnati. So rail transportation, bus transportation, bike transportation, all sorts of alternative transit is always an ongoing topic.
We're going to spend here in Central Ohio, as part of our transportation plan, we'll spend $15.5 billion. One way or another, we're going to spend $15.5 billion. My question is, are we spending that $15.5 billion that's tied to a vision for Central Ohio that's going to give us a return on investment, create the quality of life that's going to allow us to sustain us for the long term? The highways will continue to be a strong part of our economy and our future in our transportation system. 70-71 split and the rebuilding of 70-71 and thinking about that very, very differently. As we think about things related to transportation, the rebuilding of and some of the work we're still doing around 270.
Well, I'm at an age right now where, honest to God, they'll announce a new road project, and I try to figure out if I'm going to be alive when the thing's done.